This is the Chinese cutting sword from Hanwei, sometimes referred to as the Scott Riddell Chinese cutting sword, or jian. Hanwei apparently asked Mr. Riddell, who is a world-renowned martial artist and Chinese sword expert, to come up with a design that would be practical in the Kung for not only forms and use, but for cutting. And this is what they came up with. It sticks to the traditional standard design of the Chinese sword, and it's less embellished than many. It doesn't have as much carvings and fancy extra parts. It's more of a basic design, but it's very elegant and very sturdy looking and very well made in my opinion. It's a mono steel blade, through tempered. It has a curved or apple seed kind of design to the blade, a geometry. It's quite sharp and very flexible. I'll show a little flex test here in a moment. The blade, as you can see, is very flexible without being whippy. Strong and thin. Apparently Mr. Riddell did a lot of research on different blade types and styles over the centuries to see which would cut best, and this is the one he decided would cut best and came up with this design that he worked with Hanwei to create. This has a very nice full tang going up through it. If you go onto the Sword Buyer's Guide forums, you'll find a review that somebody has taken it apart and taken pictures of the tang to show how well made it is. I'm not going to take this one apart. It has a hex nut deep within the pommel there. There's a wood core around that tang with cranberry colored ray skin, and then wrapped with this kind of a suede leather, fine cord of black suede leather, which has a really nice feel to it. I like the feel of that type of leather. Now, first and foremost, this was designed as a functional cutting sword, so what better way to review it than to go out and do some good old backyard cutting. As you can see by the cutting part of the video, this Chinese cutting sword from Hanwei is exactly what it was designed to be. A traditional style jian with cutting abilities, superior cutting abilities in my opinion. I've examined the blade. We don't have any warping, we don't have any rolled edge or chipping. It stood up very well. I was a little apprehensive because of the flexibility of this blade. I'm used to katanas and things that are quite rigid, and I'm really surprised that this went through those heavy jugs the way it did. That's kind of thick plastic, and it's cold out there. So yeah, but no problem at all with that, as you could tell, and I'm really quite impressed with it. And so there you have it, the Scott Rodell Chinese cutting sword from Hanwei.